Welcome to 1407 Gray Malkin Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Don't let anyone tell you different. Okay, I'm being joined by my man, MJ, one who's with me all the time, talking about all like
I
X-Men,
love it.
top to bottom, filler and non-filler. We have two books this right now: Legion of X and Dark Web. X-Men. X-Men Dark Web. I was actually happy with these books this week. I
Same.
thought Legion was good. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay.
It was a little confusing because we got a lot of answers, and some of those answers a bit confusing. But
Yeah,
fuck, anytime you get answers is a good comment.
yeah, okay. I'm so happy. Like, okay, when Xavier was talking to Roof, and it's kind of funny how, like, they finally acknowledge that Xavier did not know anything about him. He's like, how come his mom's not around? How come she's not taking any of the responsibility? It's like, well, you should tell him that. Like, what, bitch? And he's like,
It,
oh, you didn't want to check? Why
it
would I
is
want?
it is a bit weird because like he was checking on all the mutants of the world. So how did he know he didn't have a son? But at the same time, he didn't know. So maybe he should have known. Maybe he wasn't looking. But those are all just excuses. He didn't know.
Right, all right. And then the part um they said like all right, Siceburier clearly does not like Xavier at all. And he's always quick to just make a little bit of pot shot. But he needs your love. He needs his love. Why couldn't he just go to him? Like it's not Xavier's responsibility. Yeah, probably. But I feel like
Uh,
we're getting. I think feel like we're getting like, oh, this is what if as a
It,
father he should have done this, and this. No, he
it,
did. He
it
shouldn't
doesn't
have.
it doesn't make any sense too. Like why would why would Xavier's love make Legion more prepared to deal with all these demons attacking him at night? Like I,
Right.
I don't I don't understand how
He said,
any of that
no,
really
no, no,
matters.
no, no, no. This is his girlfriend saying, your dad, your son wants you to know, wants to be, wants you to be proud of him. So this way he can know, like, oh, come on. No. And
Right, but it was the basic premise of that if you do not come to your son now and get over this now, everything your son has built is going to be destroyed. Like that's what that's what the kind of the stakes that they were implying. Like demons, every night demons attack Legion's mind, and he fights them off, but he's losing slowly. Like that's what
right,
they're implying. And I'm just like, well, why would if that's the case, then you need help. You need to build up some better defenses, something.
add in some other telepaths. It's not
Getting Xavier's love is not the solution.
right. Or like it just seems like she just trying to get involved because all right. This is what it sounded like to me. It seems like Legion tells Ruth all this stuff, like, I love my dad, but he's such a bastard. He doesn't even acknowledge me. And she's like, okay, I'm going to tell him, and maybe that'll just end the whole thing. No, no. Okay, in this one part, um, tell him you simply didn't know because, all right, tell him that a great telepath given to scurrying for mutants across the world over had no idea, no suspicion of its own inconvenient legacy. Yes, he doesn't. He doesn't because at the time she okay, his mother had remarried and had the kid raised as like with a different father. Okay. And also, Xavier is not the kind of guy to just kind of peep on onto his ex girlfriend. That's kind of weird. Who's going to do that? I mean,
Right. She's not wrong, but she's also wrong.
she's very wrong. No,
Well,
her anger. No, she's trying to guilt him into doing something he doesn't really want to do. And like, yeah, you want to know Xavier does have a son. You want to know his son's name? Scott Summers. That's his son.
Right. No, but like try telling your son that I couldn't find you while I was searching the minds of all the mutants of the world.
No,
It's just,
no,
she's
no,
not
no, no,
wrong,
but
but
check that,
she's wrong.
but oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He had all the mechanisms where he should have been able to find his child, but he didn't. And so that question is why didn't? Maybe Legion is too powerful to be found. There is an answer there that's not Xavier was purposely not trying to find his child. Like
Right,
she's implying maliciousness to his actions, which is just
right,
is wrong.
right, exactly. Okay, because also we gotta remember Gabrielle Holler, David's mother, told Moira not to tell Charles.
Mm.
Yeah, so Spurrier, he's on the right path, but he doesn't want to get. He's not doing all the research because
Yeah.
um, Gabrielle's mother, Legion's mother told Charles that she told Moira not to tell him. He was protected from like because in his mother's words, she wanted something that was only hers, not hers and Charles, only hers. So I
So,
see this all the
so,
time.
so the writer should have known that, and I don't think the writer knew as much as he should have known while writing these type of stories. But
Right,
what I think is fair is that that girl would not have known. That girl talking to Xavier, she's talking to the father of the guy that she loves. She's going to be a little rude. She's going to be inaccurate. She's not going to have all the pieces. So
right.
that is all. I thought what she said was very fair until the last thing. One of her last things she said was just like, "Okay, now you've gone too far." She insulted him like one last time at the very end.
Oh
She
yeah,
called him
oh
something.
yeah. Calls him a lonely old monster.
Yeah,
I'm
like
like,
come
oh, no,
on.
okay, all right. So is she gaslighting him?
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's plenty of monsters on that island. Xavier does not fall into it.
yeah. It's that's just oh, 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 that's just rough. But I do like this whole thing with apparently the daughter of the black sword, whatever her name,
Yeah,
black
whatever you
I
call
don't know,
it.
whatever, no, like Black Ward, whatever. Nobody cares. Um,
I love that she's
Black
black
Blade.
now.
I don't know. No, no, I don't
She's
know.
actually a black sword.
No, no, it's the Black Sword. I don't. It's like the Black Knight, whatever.
The Black Knight, yeah.
The black,
She's the
yeah, the
Black Knight.
Black Knight, black female Black Knight. Um, like her whole thing is that she can trigger secondary mutations, and but somebody sent like they're using her to affect the mutants. Okay, I'm with it.
I'm confused how it works because they were implying. So first they imply that her mutant power is kind of magical in origin,
Yeah,
and then they imply Orcus particularly is somehow hijacking her power. I'm really confused how her power is functioning. I thought it was simply that she's touching people and she's activating the X genes
yeah, kind of
with
like Rogue. Yeah,
but no, they imply that Orcus is like hijacking her power somehow, and worse, they have people randomly going monster all across the world. They talked about a couple in Asia and a couple in Europe. Does that mean she's been in Asia and Europe and touched a couple people, or are people just I don't know how. I'm a little confused how her power functions. If she needs to
yeah,
touch them or just distance or.
yeah. I no,
But
I get it. I no, I totally understand it. I totally get it. It's
she never touched Nightcrawler.
no, well, not that we know of.
She touched Angel when she went to visit Angel, but she never visited Nightcrawler. So like I'm confused how this works.
I'm very confused how it works.
And Nightcrawler says something really interesting.
Mm,
Based off what Dr. Nemesis said, Nemesis was going on a big spew, so I'm not going to repeat it. Based off what Dr. Nemesis said, Nightcrawler says, so does that mean all humans have an X gene? It's just dormant?
Well, that is true. This is something we heard about a long time. Well, I heard about it a long time ago, and back in Extreme X-Men, when Sage she um she jump started uh uh Rogue's powers. She jump started a couple other mutants' powers. She can make a mutant get to their fullest potential, but she can also turn mutant humans into mutants. And she
Sorry,
turned
who can do this?
Sage.
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 Sage, the computer girl?
Yep. Same one. She
Really?
she did it.
Huh.
She did it. And she even did it for Beast in order to save his life. Like she triggered his secondary mutation.
Really?
Yep, she can do that. It's just weird that she hasn't, like, nobody really remembers that.
That's huge.
But of course, this is a Claremont thing, so
Hmm.
so yeah, Sage can do it. It can be done. Like, yeah, Sage is crazy. Sage is
It
crazy.
seems like the ultimate way to win the war is just turn all humans mutant.
I mean,
That takes
that's a way. That is a way to go.
create the opposite of a anti-mutant gun. A mutant gun just turns all
Right?
humans pop, 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 pop.
Like mutant, 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 mutant.
Yeah.
But yeah, Legion of X is getting better.
Well, I love learning about the name is ridiculous. The ghost of
Oh,
the spirit of
the Ghost Rider,
the,
the Spirit of Vengeance,
variance, the spirit of variance. Yeah,
variants.
it's a bit
And,
lame.
and no, and like I was like, okay, a lot of people said they're the Ghost of Vengeance. They're not really, and it's just a cool name.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. But
I thought,
yeah,
it should have been the spirit of deviation.
the demonic deviations.
No, like deviance.
Okay,
So like
okay,
your body like, deviant, like your body mutates. So like there's the spirit of deviation. It's the same thing as variation. It's just
yeah,
deviation.
demonic variations. Yeah, I get
It
it.
fits after this whole Eternals event and stuff. The deviants and whatnot. But I don't
But
know.
yeah, like I really like what they're. I really like the fact that um that Chamber and Husk got some screen time. I really like that Smurry remembers their relationship, and they're just are or that whole thing with Forget Me Not and Lost. That, like, I swear I think it's a comedy thing at this point. They keep on going on dates, but she doesn't remember them because of his powers, and he's in love with her, but like
Yeah,
it's like a reverse 51st dates.
yeah. She forgets it one day, and all day he's gonna be trying to remind her to put in her thing. You
Yeah,
know,
but
she every time
everybody else forgets who he is too.
they they have a piece of technology that makes you remember. It seems like a bad piece of technology because like Orcus can get a hold of it, and
Yeah,
then he's like now like no, he's like weakened. He's like one of the most power. He's like one of the only mutants that would survive the apocalypse because no one can remember
remember
him.
who he is. That's so wrong. True though. Uh, okay, so Dark Web by Gary Dugan is doing this, and there's a lot. I have a lot of questions.
I'm enjoying the Christmas vibe of it. If it
Yeah, I
wasn't
like it.
if it wasn't Christmas right now, it would be like what the fuck. So I couldn't imagine like coming back to it at some other time.
Oh yeah,
Um, it's a little bit of a slow burn.
It took me a while to realize Dugan was writing this. And once again, we get a um um we get like a review of what happened in New Mutants because no one else was reading this except for us.
Yeah.
And you know what? The one thing I want to see about this, I want to see Madeline have some face-to-face time with Jean. That's what I've been waiting for ever since Hellions. Let's go. Like, yeah, she has to see Magic too. And yeah, of course, we're gonna get her seeing her with Scott. I, I would like to see her interaction with Cable right now, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good
her
one.
kid. That is literally her son. And her son wants nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like this is fun. This book is fun. It it feels like a real a sequel to Inferno.
It's
It really does.
extremely predictable though. Like there's nothing happening yet that I'm like I cannot have. Like, everything is super predictable. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping for some expectations subverted. Biggest one obviously is I'm hoping Madeline is not evil. She's clearly evil because she's attacking New York City. People could die in New York City,
True.
so she's not good. I just hope she's not fucking evil. Evil. I'm hoping that she has a good reason for all this, and Jean will not want to even hear the reason. Jean will just go in for the attack. They fight, and it turns out Jean is in the wrong because Madeline is actually doing something really good.
Right.
Uh, so I
Also,
want Jean to be the villain of this arc.
I feel like with this we're getting like most of this was of course the we knew it was coming. Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends. That's great. That's cool. That's hey, I'm all with it, but I want I want to see also can we just remember that Havoc got over Madeline like a long time ago? A long time ago. Like he got
Mm,
over a long time ago, and the fact that like she's back, and like the fact that now he has mental problems. Like, are you
Well,
serious right now?
he didn't have it. I don't. I'm not an expert in Marvel, but I can almost. She was dead at one point, so I can almost
Yes.
assume that he had to get over her because she was dead. But then
Right.
the moment you learn that you can resurrect your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
it kind of I can see it maybe restarting some old flames. That's why I can't understand why they have not resurrected one of Wolverine's ex-wives or girlfriends. He has like a dozen of them, and some of them have been mutant.
Yep.
You
That's
know,
true. Oh, but here's the thing. I feel like Gene would be so weirded out. Like, imagine they're having dinner at the summer house, and all of a sudden Gene just gets like a mental flash of Havoc, like just thinking about Madeline in like in a very inappropriate manner. And she's like, "Ugh, I wish I could turn this thing off."
I'm sure his phone um they imply that they weren't dating, but I wouldn't put it past Madeline to like send sexy pics to Havoc.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh no.
And then it's just like Gene. They look like Gene,
Yeah.
right?
No, and also think about this. Think of how awkward it is for Scott. Like, if he really wanted to, he can say, Alex, really, stop trying to fuck my leftovers. Get your own life.
I think Madeline is her own person. It's like an unwilling twin type thing going on there, but yeah, at the same time, Scott knows how toxic Madeline is, and if
Yeah,
anyone
remember
understand that,
remember the one part he says, every time I try to give Madeline the benefit of the doubt, she does something crazy. I'm like, yep.
you know,
Like, yeah, that bitch
like,
crazy. Yep.
I hope it's not the case. They're doing her more dirty than they do fucking Xavier, man. Like they always do Madeline dirty.
Not really, bro.
Right. Why are they
No.
doing the dirty?
Yeah, the writers do, but like I mean, all she wants to do is kill Cyclops. That's like her one thing she wants to do.
I don't know what she wants. She claims what she wants is inside the treehouse, but Cyclops was not in the treehouse when she said that. So I don't know.
Why do I get the feeling it's going to be something like she wants like an old picture of her, Scott, and baby Nathan? Like it's going to be something like really sentimental that like they're gonna like bond over, or maybe we can get Cable to show up because
Yeah, it could be
that's
something. It
that's
could
his
be like
mom.
it could be like a baby picture of Cable.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what it is because like it seems like it it's either something personal or it's something like a weapon. Because like
Right.
it, I don't know. It is a
No, no,
bit weird.
that's what I'm thinking it is too. It has to be a weapon or something super sentimental. Madeline is very sentimental.
Don't
Very
know why
sentimental.
I don't know what grudge she has against Spider-Man. Um,
Um, Not really. It's more like you're in the way.
is he in the way? Like, why is he in the way?
I don't know. I
He's going
don't
after
know.
the treehouse. Why? Why
No,
is
no,
this?
because Carnage and Venom want him dead. They want him dead too. So
But right, but she went out of her way to like mine mind bend um the King in Black. Or I don't know if it's still the King in Black because it doesn't seem very kingly when he's mindless.
right.
Um, last time I checked, Venom was still the King in Black. He was in the Thor comic like a couple months ago as the King in Black. So I don't know
Hey,
what's going on with him.
don't don't know what's going on with that either. But this week was fun.
It was good.
This week was really fun.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to bring up was an interesting thing. I think I think they might be seeding. So this might be me just seeing into something too much. But when Magic used her stepping disc, ever
Right,
since she gave up Limbo, her stepping discs have functioned a little differently.
right.
And she in the white pages was telling the council that it functions pretty much the same. It just takes like an extra second to function. It takes like an extra. It's not as quickly. It doesn't function as quickly. I remember that. And in this issue, they're trying to escape, and she can't escape quick enough. So it's almost like she's not used to how long it takes for this new stepping disc to function.
Huh. Interesting. That is interesting. That isn't like I would like to see that explored a little bit more.
Because I felt like she should have had some type of way to fight those dreaming demons. Someone
Yeah,
who grew up in limbo would know how to fight dreaming demons, but her idea was to escape, and she thought it would be instantaneously escaping. But no, it takes like a split second for this new disc to work, and during that second, they got captured. Um,
that's
I don't know if they're using that as the reason why they got captured, because their powers are slower now. Or maybe that's just me reading into something that.
no. It could be something, or it could be nothing, but it's still gonna be fun.
Yeah.
This like Legion of X is getting better. I guess. I don't
I
know.
like it. I'm still of the opinion that Mother Righteous is a sinister, but a good sinister.
Okay, I can
Um,
see that. I think
um
the Peacock Man,
Peacock
Xena.
Man.
Yeah, I think
I
he's
can
a
see that.
sinister.
It's just been so long since we saw that dude. But yeah, he's definitely a candidate.
Uh, but you know what? Also, I think it'd be really interesting if that was like one of their old human allies who just who just lost their mind. He's like, no, no, I've been with the X Men for this long, and also they get an island. They don't invite me. The fuck?
Yeah, for sure. It could be, yeah, it could definitely be one of the many human scientists to work. And it could be like, you let Moira, that human, come join your island, but you didn't call me. Like,
Right?
there could be
Seriously. It's
could be a
like,
lot of
no, no, man,
examples.
he even like that. No, man, fuck you, Charles. This is exactly what I've been telling you about. Oh God, that'd be great. That's great.
Unless I'm a husband of somebody or a child that can't come to Krakoa.
Or I'm banging Emma Frost. Yeah,
Yeah.
that probably would. Yeah, they'll get him on the island. But I just don't understand this need to put down Charles. They make it seem like Charles knew what Moira was doing. Like, oh, he manipulated everyone. Really? How did he
So
manipulate every? It's not like he created all the events that happened. Like,
right.
he
It
just had an
seems
overall
like
plan.
it seems like it's been, I would say, so I have no idea this. So this is me entirely speculating. But I would be willing to argue that Jonathan Hickman left notes that he had an overarching goal for Xavier. He
Yeah,
has some type of he had a beginning and an end for him, and then like not an end, more like a continuous like a circle, I guess. He had a plan for Xavier, but then he called his first year a leap year because of COVID, and
right.
so he had to basically stall out that entire first year. And then the second year, he grew bored and then he left. At the end of the second year, he left. So I think that now they're working off his notes and they're now trying to fulfill that promised whatever they want to do with Xavier, they're trying to now fulfill that. And so they now have to double down on him being a bad, like quote unquote, a bad guy to then double down on this because it's not like it's starting 2 years ago. It's now starting this year or whatever. Um, the fall of X, it's going to be the fall of Xavier, and then at the end of the fall of X, Xavier is going to have some redemption. He's going to come back better and stronger than ever. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, all right,
I can't imagine Marvel. They've Beast and Xavier are fan favorite characters.
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. Like,
They are.
people
They
don't. No,
always.
no, no. Xavier. No, I love Xavier. I see the reasoning why he did it, and it's like, oh, like a lot of people say, oh well, he created the X-Men. They were basically child soldiers. No, they weren't child soldiers. They were a rescue. They were basically a search and rescue team. And,
Yeah, like
another thing, like, oh, he sex trafficked Sage. Like, no, he didn't trade put her in sex trafficking. She was a spy. She never slept with Shaw. That was his that was his boss. You know, yeah, it's a whole thing.
they or I don't think those are large audiences of people that feel this way. Because like he is a fan favorite character. He looks like a 20-year-old man right now, but in most people's mind, like if you ask people what does Xavier look like, they're gonna say a cute old grandpa in a wheelchair. That's what they're gonna say. A bald grandpa in a wheelchair. So he has those like brownie points in people's mind as like the grandpa figure. And then Beast, he's the cozy little dog guy.
Yeah,
Um, uh, but I don't think they're gonna ruin these characters. I remember when they first Marvel talked about not wanting to ruin characters after fucking up Hank Pym so bad. So like I don't see them ruining these characters. And having Wolverine on a leash in your basement is kind of ruining the character. So there has to be a reason for these things. Same with Xavier. There has to be if they're gonna make him fall, they're gonna have him rise up even higher.
yeah.
Um,
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what Gillian's gonna do with him in a couple months because I'm very excited to see what is inside Xavier's head because from ever since Dawn of X, we've been just getting like shit, not their
mm,
versions of how people see him. We're not getting inside his head, and so I want to get inside his head. I want to see how he feels because he's not a bad person at all. Now the Deadly Genesis thing. You know what? Seriously, looking back on that now, I don't even trust Moira's word on it because she could have lied about the entire thing just to make herself look better because she does that. She know the Deadly Genesis thing, the whole thing with Danger. Um, You know what? Honestly, I see why he would have done something like that because one, the phalanx, and two, like there's all right, but also there's a lot of discrepancies that we don't know about. Like one, when did danger first appear? Like I want to know a timeline. Like, did it happen in the 80s X-Men or did it happen because but we also got to remember Xavier was gone for a very long time. He was gone. He was in space. So it would have to be in the 90s, but when? Because um the school got destroyed a couple times since then. So make it make sense. Two, no, three. The whole he was in love with Jean thing. Everybody has a bad thought. It's a bad thought. Like you
Yeah,
were like,
you can't police people for thoughts.
no,
You
you
can't stop
like you're
these
not the
people.
thought police. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
These you can't be the thought police. Um. Oh, what about the whole thing with hiding Moira? That was her choice. He was respecting her choice. It's not like he said, "Oh, yeah, we're just gonna hide you." Like, no, she wanted to do that. I'm pretty sure Charles couldn't do anything to Moira that she wouldn't want to happen. So, and you know what? Everybody wants to give him all, but they never want to really think about why he did it. So that's just me. Also, why is Magneto getting nut? Magneto's a dick. How does he die and says, "Oh, da 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 da, Mag, I'm a great mutant. I'm a great mutant. Xavier's a bitch. Death."
well, you're right that this all feeds into the greater plot of let's make Xavier look as bad as possible before something happens. Like I believe something happens.
Yeah,
Um, but like, I do believe that what Magneto said is a very honest Magneto. Magneto's always been afraid that Xavier would be too weak to do what needs to be done.
yeah,
But now it seems like he's the opposite, where he's afraid that Xavier is too strong. Um, he said he's afraid that Xavier will do something that'll be the death of us all, and it didn't seem like he thought that that would be um, working with humanity. I got the impression that it was the opposite, that Xavier has gone too far the other way. He's no longer the lovable coexistence guy anymore.
right.
That he's going to go too far down the isolation route, that will cause some type of problem. Um,
No, no,
we'll
no,
see.
no. He still loves mute. He still loves humanity. He's just like, I'm not gonna take any of your shit.
He's now he's put forward this oligarchy dictatorship over Earth. He's not a good guy right now. You have three of your council members are all corporate leaders of Hellfire. That means they're oligarchs. So
Right,
half the country is ruled by oligarchs, and the other half is ruled by dictators. Um, and then they claimed all of Earth and the entire solar system. So it's like they're not making a lot of good things. The reason why I think people have a little more sympathy for Magneto is that Magneto has accomplished things post House of X.
right.
Magneto has been doing stuff, and we know what he's doing. We can look at what he's accomplished. I don't know if Xavier has accomplished a single thing post House of X.
Um.
He,
Uh.
he did not stop Nimrod. He did not destroy Orcus. He didn't father the birth of a planet. He did not want to go to Morocco and save it. He hasn't done anything.
I mean. I mean. Yeah. That. Yeah. That's a big. That's a big
So
deal.
worse than making Xavier morally ambiguous, you're making him incompetent. That's why we need to see what he's been planning. Since Moira's betrayal, what has changed his plans? What plans is he now enacting? And what big thing will be his legacy? Krakoa is not just his legacy. Krakoa is the legacy of all the founders.
Right.
Um, Magneto, It might just be Magneto and Xavier considered the founders, but I thought it was the entire council, White Council, would be the founders.
Right. Um, it's just weird. Like it's just weird. Uh, but my whole thing is they jump on to Xavier, but like they give Emma every like okay, Emma used to be the meanest person. Um, was the meanest person ever. She told Firestar, no, she made the Firestar believe that uh Emma killed her horse just cuz. Uh Emma ain't shit. But now they're making her seem like, oh, she's so noble now, and she believes in the future, in the like. But can we talk about how she's a bad teacher? She's a horrible teacher. Name one group of her students that still messes with her. Name one of her students that she didn't get killed.
You know what's the greatest sign of her incompetence, or people's thinking her incompetent, is Jean did not go to Emma.
Right,
Jean went to Sebastian Shaw to form her Phoenix Foundation. She didn't
right.
go to Emma. She didn't
Nope.
get Emma's help in starting the Phoenix Foundation. She went to Sebastian Shaw because Emma ain't shit.
Emma's never been shit. Um, they yeah, they're like Emma's never been shit. She just had to work. Um, uh, she's FOMO. There she thinks she has to be involved in everything, and that's why people think you know it's rough. With her, it's like anytime somebody says something but like, oh, you manipulated all of us. No, they didn't manipulate you. They got you to be on the same page, and now you're mad because there's something deeper to it. Gosh, she's an ignorant. But yeah. But all right, so next week when it comes to books, we got man, I'm just gonna check.
We got I know we got Wolverine and Sabretooth and the Exiles or whatever.
Yeah, Sabretooth and the Exiles, Wolverine, you're right. And we have X-Men Annual. We have not had one of these in a while.
I don't really know what that is. What's an
Oh,
annual?
an annual was like it was always like an extra, like a bonus book. Like it comes out yearly. It's not in like it could just drop anytime. But yeah,
So
X-Men annuals are great.
it's just an extra X-Men book.
Yeah, an
So
extra X.
it's just an X-Men book.
Yeah, yeah, it's an X-Men book, but it's like the annuals, like
I don't
like that's
understand it. I don't understand. It'd be
I
one
don't
thing if it was not a current X-Men run, and then you could throw in an X-Men annual or something like, "Okay, so boom, we got it." But no, we got it. You could just do an extra. I don't know. I don't get the point of it. It seems like I guess it's not going to follow the main plot of the X-Men comic. It's just going to
oh
do whatever it
no
wants.
no it adds on to the plot. Like it
Okay,
adds on like
I
yeah,
don't get it.
there's some good ones. There's a really good and sometimes they're just like fun stories talking about the X-Men.
I
But
like the planet size and the giant size. That shit was
Planet
fun.
Size was fun. Planet Size, oh my
That was
man,
great.
they made a planet. They brought a planet back to life in 22 minutes.
It was
That
great.
was dope. That was so dope.
Seeing everyone use their powers at almost pretty much max. You
Yeah.
know, good
And,
shit.
and look, humanity still was crying about it. Like, that's not fair. How come they did that? How come we didn't
Yeah.
do it together?
You barely terraformed the moon, you motherfuckers. Like,
Right? Like, no, they haven't terraformed the moon. It was more like, hey, like we wanted to get to the stars. You could have done it. You have the Fantastic Four. I mean, they were busy though. They were
but
busy.
they terraformed the moon of Mars.
I know.
The humans did, and it's just, they barely did. It's like half terraformed. It's all like could fall apart at any second. It's not natural.
Yeah, but they don't know like down the street the humans are down there, and then even further down the street are it's the summer house. That
Yeah,
that's funny to me. I love that. Oh, so
and then
yeah, what's up?
a little further down the street is the crazy Chinese guy with a fetish hard on against Japanese people.
Yeah, yeah. Fei
What a
Long, that dick.
Elon.
He's such a dick.
Mm.
Such an entitled dick. All right,
Mm.
Master Jarl. I'm 1407. We're of the AKPC. We'll see you soon.